One problem that human beings are facing since ages is dukkha or unhappiness. So much so that we have accepted sadness, dissatisfaction, anxiety, and frustration as an inevitable part of life. Over the period of human evolution, the physical aspect has been evolving and transforming, but the way nature has been programming the human mind remains the same. Times have changed, the physicality has changed, but the way our mind deals with the world has not changed. However, with the passage of time, number of the ignorant minds have increased substantially, creating problems both at individual and collective levels. History is full of instances of crime, hatred, suppression, and violence committed by humans under the influence of desires and fears. Millions have died because of the mind's insanity, and the struggle is not yet over. Even though the ignorant world has accepted dukkha as a part of life, but that doesn't mean that untrue will become real, and insanity can be accepted as customary. No matter how much assets and securities one accumulates, or how much planning one does for a safe future, one cannot free oneself and others from the multifaceted impacts of dukkha. Accept it. We all are living a dejected life. Now, humans are quick to blame others, or their destiny, or the circumstances, and just everything except themselves. And the reality is that the cause of all dukkha is not the situation, but the way we deal with the situation. Most of us don't even know how to conduct life correctly. And the reason is our mismanaged mind. One part of the mind, that is I, is working obsessively to empower the other part of the mind, that is mine. And the fundamental problem is that both I and mine are misbelieved as true. Whereas the self, which is the actual reality, is neglected in unawareness. This infectious, lethal, and chaotic state of mind is what I call as dysfunction of mind. A disease gives unwanted pain and suffering to the body. Similarly, dysfunction of mind is compulsively and continuously giving a turbulent and unsettled condition in our lives. You see, when just a small headache is intolerable for us, imagine how much we all are suffering unknowingly, living every moment with this dysfunction of mind. The problem is of grave concern. It's not only affecting the part of you, rather, understand the problem is you. As beings suffer from different diseases, and so their medical treatments are also different in nature. But, interestingly, the cause and effect of mind dysfunction are more or less the same in all beings, and so is its treatment. If not sooner than later, the symptoms of body illnesses are traceable. But, unfortunately, the mind dysfunction in most cases never gets diagnosed. A whole lifetime of 70-80 years gets wasted without us realizing the real cause of dukkha, the incessant and compulsive pain and suffering. Just one in thousands acknowledge it, and one in those puts up an effort to correct this dysfunction of mind. Although human psychology has advanced a lot, still, this dysfunction of mind is something that cannot be permanently cured by counseling, therapies, or medicines. Had it been so, every being of the world would have been happy by now. A simple pill cures a headache within a few minutes. But there is no such pill that can cure this dysfunction of mind. Sedatives and psychedelic drugs give some relief for a while. But as soon as their effect is over, Dukkha comes back again. One can never get a permanent solution to get rid of the effects of this dysfunction by doses of medications, intoxications, adrenaline rushes, comforts, luxuries, or ego gratification. The solution lies in first acknowledging that there is a problem and then restructuring the mind to original settings. We must understand that it is us who have spoiled the God programmed settings, and therefore nobody else is to be blamed than us. Now, one universal and greatest manual of procedures that joyfully cures the dysfunction and then restructure the mind is none other than but Ramayan. It is that one single bouquet that has flowers of inspiration, truth, righteousness, pleasure, courage, determination, love, and of course, grace. The sole objective of Ramayana is to establish Ram-Rajya in every being, which ensures the permanent cure of dysfunction of mind and absolute freedom from dukkha. Ram-Rajya is essentially a state of self-consciousness, which is entirely free from fears and desires, a place where there is no insecurity and dissatisfaction. Ram-Rajya truly signifies the uninterrupted flow of divine intelligence and bliss, which is the essential nature of all beings beyond the field of mind, body, and physicality. Ramayan is an eternal universal consciousness that leads every being to perfection. This manual doesn't just showcase step-by-step pointers, but a very absorbing tale of relationship, friendship, revenge, love, and most importantly, the victory of good over evil. It carries the objective of Supreme Lord Ram and a pledge that whosoever will have full faith in Ramayana will attain that level of success, strength, and peace which he has never witnessed before. As neither the humongous celestial bodies of other galaxies nor the minute cells in the grains of rice can be seen with naked eyes, but requires sophisticated instruments. Similarly, the essence of Ramayana cannot be recognized and appreciated without the sophisticated attributes of discipline, commitment, perception, and intellect. The present era is very much impatient. It wants quick and instant solutions. Since birth, we believe that the only purpose of life is to accumulate power and pleasures. And the only relationship we know and value is of give and take. However, there are also hidden gems, the enlightened souls, saints, the sages, who, without any expectation of returns, have committed their lives in the devotion of Lord Ram. They are the real heroes of humanity who are learning, contemplating, and retelling again and again the spiritual scientific principles of Ramayana for the greater good of humanity. The life, miracles, and wisdom of Lord Ram, the human avatar of supreme consciousness, is the very essence of Ramayana. It gives purity, satisfaction, relaxation, and realization which every human being yearns for. The in-depth, insightful, and thought-provoking meanings of Ramayana have been first internalized and then presented by many learned ones over a period of many centuries. But the greatest one among them is Saint Goswami Tulsidas, the creator of Sri Ramcharitmanas, based on his teachings and ideas of Sri Ram Kinkarji. I have put my humble effort to simplify the insightful concepts that Ramayana upholds. I hope it will appeal to the logical minds of the present era and will attract them towards the greatness of Lord Ram. May the grace of Lord Ram always remain with all beings. And may the divinity of Ramayana enlightens every soul with Sukha, the ultimate bliss. Very honestly, it is my deepest desire to see Ram Nam in thought, speech, and action of not just followers of Sanatana Dharma, but of all faiths. Now, so far, Lord's name has been exploited for all selfish interests, except for welfare and well-being of mankind. Readers and listeners will find new perspectives of Ramayana not discussed in the present times. Most importantly, I show the reader that whosoever studies Ramayana will become eligible for the grace of Lord Ram, and whosoever attains his grace lives a fruitful and rewarding life, free from pain and suffering. Finally, consider Ramayana text like an open source code. There can be new interpretations and insights that you may discover. There is no end of Ramayana. The more you delve into it, the newer knowledge will reveal to you. Minds of present era appreciates scientific, logical, and questioning approach. For the first time, readers will get answers to the many whys and hows of Ramayana. Jai Shri Ram.